everyone, and happy Halloween. My name is Hayati. I'm a third-year student here at Oregon State, completing my bachelor's in biochemistry and biophysics, and I am honored to be here as a part of the campaign for OSU Celebration. So, when I found out that I was talking tonight and I had to decide on a topic, I wanted to choose something that would both highlight the opportunities that I've had here and underscore the message of the campaign. And so I decided that I'd tell you guys about my incredible year with the Oregon State women's rowing team. And there are 3 points that I want to make with this story: the ability of an individual to make a lasting difference, the power of a group working towards a common goal, and the importance of taking the time to appreciate the path that you're on. So let's get started with the power of the individual. In high school, I was what you'd call a high-achieving student. I had good grades, I was involved in a lot of extracurricular activities, but most of all, my identity was shaped by my love of athletics. And when I came to Oregon State, I wasn't planning on pursuing college sports, but I heard Oregon State's women's rowing team was allowing novices to walk on, and it wasn't something that I could pass up. So there were a couple obstacles. The biggest one was the fact that I knew nothing about rowing, other than it involves water and boats. Still, the type of athlete that the coaches were looking for fit me to a T. A passion for physical challenge? Check. Desire to be a part of a competitive team? Check. Long arms and legs, generally 5'8" or taller? Well, I wasn't gonna let a little thing like that stop me. Tryouts were held at the Boathouse. It's a 10-minute bike ride from campus on the bank of the Willamette River. And so for a week, 45 hopefuls met to learn correct rowing form and to build strength. So we flipped tractor tires, we ran laps, we learned to treat the equipment with respect and to stock up on cream for the calluses on our hands. By Friday, some girls quit, others were cut, and 45 became 24. I made it. But I couldn't help noticing I was one of the more height-challenged members of the team. While most stood 5'8" to 6'2", I barely reached 5'3" on my tippy toes. It was then that I discovered that I had not made the team as a rower, but as a coxswain. The coxswain is a pint-sized captain. She is the only member of the crew to face the finish line, and it is her job to direct and motivate the rowers, to steer the rudder, and to ensure the safety of the entire crew. It's tricky because you've all heard the saying that there's no I in team, but as the coxswain, it is your job to assert your individuality. You're the smallest person in the boat, but you have to have the biggest voice. You have to yell out to keep the crew in sync and on course, and the rowers put their complete trust in you to lead the boat to victory. This is the power of the individual, and to me, it's a fitting parallel to the leadership behind the campaign. A few strong individuals weren't afraid to speak out, to yell out, and change the course of this university. And soon others joined and committed to the vision. And not to get too metaphorical, but you could say they grabbed an oar and started rowing. Together, they crossed the finish line not once, but 3 times. And that is the power of a group working together towards a common goal. When strong individuals work together, big things happen. Being on the rowing team was a point of extreme pride for me. I loved being a part of a group of like-minded people, but it wasn't always smooth sailing. Some days, I wasn't in tune with the mood or ability of my rowers, and the entire crew was out of sync. But make 9 bodies one, and the experience on the river was a thing of beauty. And it's beauty that brings me to my final point, the importance of being able to slow down and appreciate the path that you're on. Because at the end of the day, it's not the sweat or the callus that I remember from rowing, It's the moments of beauty and serenity. For instance, one morning, we had an early practice, and we were on the river as the sun rose. The sky was aglow, and a mist coated the top of the water. On the far shore, a heron stood as if posing for us, and Coach signaled for the boats to stop. We sat in silence for several minutes, and Coach said, "This is why we row." I left the team after my freshman year, but I'm proud of my time as a coxswain. I've continued to take advantage of the opportunities that Oregon State offers to its students. With scholarship money for academic achievement, I was able to study abroad for a term in England. I work in state-of-the-art facilities conducting important protein research, and I take classes from some of the best professors in the country. Just as importantly, I've enjoyed bonfires at sunset, I've gone on hikes in the hills, and I've befriended fantastic people who will forever enrich my life. Those who made this campaign possible and such a success, please know that you've made an extraordinary difference for those on this campus. I, for one, promise to always appreciate everything that you have given me and given to every student here. So, thank you, and go Beavs.